All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. What a great day to be alive. Just amazing day to be alive. And a great day to have my friend Rick Trimble with us. Y'all are going to, this is going to be special. So let me share, so Rick can share if he wants to. Let me just give you a little intro about Rick. So Rick, unlike Tom Sosnoff, is not an industry professional. Rick is just a cool dude, y'all. He is a cool dude. And the cool thing about Rick is Rick just graduated. He just retired, y'all. So mama's got Rick at home and she's got all kind of honey-do lists for him and stuff. And so I met Rick about, I don't know, a year and 3 or 4 months ago when we were, I started a little trading room, and Rick was in there and I did a little presentation. So I've been knowing Rick ever since. So I asked Rick to come on today just to kind of show you, that some of y'all are over your heads right now and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this stuff that we got going on. But the cool thing is, let me mute everybody. I'm getting a little background noise. Then we'll let Rick unmute himself here in a second. But the cool thing is that what we're doing here, y'all can do this. And Rick is a perfect example. A matter of fact, we like Rick so much that we actually have named a trade after Rick. How many of you got a trade named after you? I mean, we call it the Rick trade. And I routinely put on a Rick trade every now and then, and he does them all the time. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Rick Trimble. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Bobby. Good. It's morning where I am, so good morning to all of you. I appreciate you letting me come. And that was a more of an introduction than I deserve. I appreciate that. You're most kind. So, yeah, my name is Rick. Retired in December. I worked for 40 years in the nonprofit world. I got into actual trading about 15 years ago. I knew nothing about the stock market. I was just tired of, at one of my jobs, I had a company-sponsored IRA, and I was contributing, I don't remember, 2%, 3%, whatever it was. And I didn't see the results going very far, very fast, very high at all. But the guy that was running the IRA, I mean, he was taking trips to Bermuda and he would go to Europe. And I'm thinking, one of these days, I want to be able to do something like that. And so again, about 15 years ago, I got into trading. Again, knew nothing about the stock market. Absolutely knew nothing about options. Didn't know what an option was. Didn't know what a future was. So I started taking some online classes from various people, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on classes. I'm sorry that I spent so much, but in all of that, I gained a little here, gained a little there, gained a little here, gained a little there. So, make a long story short, I got into options, and I did one of the very basic spreads called a vertical spread, and I started doing that, and I was actually profitable at it. I was kind of surprised. So I wanted to do more. I wanted to be more directional, which was not a good thing for me. So I started learning from other people. I got into Elliott Wave. I was in the Elliott Wave for 3 or 4 years. I tried zero DTE and almost had a heart attack almost every day trying to do a zero DTE.
And tell them what that is, Rick, if they don't know what DTE, maybe what that is.
Okay, I'm sorry. So zero DTE is an option that expires today. So you go in about an hour after, it depends on who you follow, go in about an hour after the market opens, and you put either a vertical, most people put a condor on, which is to sell a call spread and a vertical spread at the same time, so that you're safe as long as price stays within those two ranges. But because it's such a short trade, it can move tremendously fast. I mean, if the market goes up, it just dinks around for an hour and then it goes up like 50 points. Well, I mean, you have to sit there and watch it like all the time. You have it on for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and you are sweating bullets the whole time, praying that one of your short strikes are not breached, that the market doesn't go too far up or too far down, and you take a cleaning. So, I mean, the first month I did zero DTE. Oh my gosh, the first month was amazing. I thought, hey, I have found the golden chalice here. I have found the holy grail. And then and I started telling people about it. And the very next time I put it on, I was taken to the cleaners. Oh, it was bad. So I got out of that. So about a year ago, January a year ago, I found Bobby online. I don't even remember how I found him. It may have been off of Twitter. I'm not really sure. But anyway, here was this guy, and he had what he called a spreadsheet. Now, listen, you talk about a spreadsheet, I'm all over it. I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheet makes everything logical. It's all mathematical. It'll all come out equal. It'll do whatever you tell it to do. So I joined Bobby's Discord group, and I mean, now Bobby's, as you probably all know, Bobby's not like the normal professor. He was not the normal teacher whatsoever. He was open, he was honest. What you see is what you get. He showed everything, showed his wins, showed his losses, talked about when
Showed my account number a few times, Rick, and got in trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely got in trouble with with Thinkorswim, sure. So anyway, I started learning from Bobby, because when I got into Elliott wave and other types of directional trading, I wasn't winning. I was losing. I would lose. I wouldn't lose a lot, but it would constant drawdown. So I wanted to go back to options. And so Bobby was teaching several strategies that he's gotten over the years, developed over the years, tweaked over the years. And so I started doing them. So about a month after I started listening to Bobby, and Bobby came on every day. I mean, it was completely unlike anybody else, any other teacher. Most teachers, you get on a Zoom class, it's either recorded, or if it's live, you can't talk, you can't ask questions, you just sit there and listen. Bobby was completely different. You could ask a question, unmute yourself, turn your camera on, whatever you want to do. Bobby would answer. He was always open and honest about that. So about a month after I started, I wanted a one-on-one with Bobby because I had some questions for him. So we met, and I told him what my goal was. I said, I'm going to be retiring at the end of the year. I don't want to do like a zero DTE and sweat bullets all the time. And I don't want to have to watch my account all the time. Are there any strategies out there that would let me check it? I don't know if I want to check it 5 times a day, once a week. Is there anything out there that I don't have to stay glued to the computer watching it? And so Bobby has a resource page on his Discord site, and so he told me of a couple of things, and one of them was from I tell you what, can I share my screen, Bobby? Is
sure,
okay?
I think you can.
Let me see if I can share this thing. Where did it go? It's right there. I can share. So he took me to a place, a website. It's called Early Retirement Now, and this was the and Bobby graciously calls it the Rick trade. It's Rick didn't come up with it. Trust me, I may have done some tweaking to it, but these, and I'm not even sure if these people came up with it. But basically, it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade. You put a trade on Monday that expires on Wednesday, and then you put a trade on Wednesday that expires on Friday, and you put a trade on Friday that expires on Monday. So it's short term, which I like short term, or at least I like that was my cup of tea. Uh, I, there's a lot of people that teach you go out 45 days to expiration to sell a spread, or 90 days or whatever. But I like the short term because I like to see. I like to be able to hit the cash register, cha-ching, on an often. Let me put it that way. So I tried this, and it worked. It worked for me. Um, my, let's see, where am I? No, not that one. Not that one. Let's go to this one. So basically, this is the spreadsheet that I downloaded, and I did some tweaking to Bobby's stuff. Some of it I ruined and had to go back and do it again. Bobby is he downplays it, but he's a quintessential Excel person. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. But anyway, so this was the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet, you can track your you put in all the statistics for the day, what your delta is, what your theta is, your vega, all this stuff. You can put in your trades that you do. You look at the weekly premium stuff, what trades actually worked for you, and you got a profit chart running P&L. And so this was like I love this. This was great. So I started tracking the Monday, Wednesday, Friday trades in the Excel spreadsheet, and all in all, last year, and this is the one from last year, from
Hey, Rick, will you
2021.
make that, will you enlarge that just a little bit? Hit your
Oh, sure.
thing at the
Sure.
top or whatever.
Tell me
Yeah.
when to stop.
Go up to the top where it says the expand your thing. To the right there. Yeah. Expand that.
Okay, like that.
Okay. Yeah. There it is.
Is that big enough?
That's good.
Okay. So basically, my first trade for these was on January the 13th, and my last one for last year was December the 30th. So this was like almost the entire. It was the entire year. I put on over 200 of these on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday trade, and I would trade anywhere. Here's one, 2 contracts that I would put. I mean, basically, it was less than 20. Then I started like feeling my oats, and it was like it was more than 20. So anyway, I put these on that. Now Bobby taught us, now green, whenever it's green, that's a winner, and red is a loser. So now what do you do when it's green? What do you do when you win? Well, when you win, you don't have to tell me what to do. I know exactly what to do. I'll go and put on another one. When it's red and I lost, meaning that I put this on, but it breached my short strike. If my short strike, this was the short strike. The short strike was 37.50. So it breached my short strike, and so I rolled it. And Bobby taught everybody how to do that as well. You roll it out to the next time, and then the very next time when you roll it out, chances are you're going to come out a winner. And that's what I did. All the times I rolled, and I rolled probably 4 or 5 times over the whole year. That means that all of these greens, and each one of them is a specific individual trade. Now they're individual trades on a couple of different accounts. So you'll see that some days I put on, it looks like I put on 2, but it was simply because I trade using different accounts. So I did that. Again, I did that all year, and I did several things during the year. This was one of them. We had the micro trades. I did 176 of the micro trades, and some were winners, some were losers. That's just the way it was. And I did equity and basis. Anyway, make a long story short, my realized profit. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go to my net lick. So this is the account I started with. I started with 59,371.88. And doing these, and the majority of it was that Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade. I ended up with 121,922.69, which was a 91, almost 92% profit. Basically, probably 75% of the trades was the Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade. The profit chart, this was my profit chart. Every time there's a dip, I had to roll, but it came up again. This was an odd time back in September. I don't remember what happened here, but I did take a loss on this one. There were some things that I had to do, and basically I got out early. I should not have got out early. In fact, all of these rolls that I did, if I had simply kept it and followed the quote rules, I would have been fine. I wouldn't have had any losses at all, period, using the trade. Now, again, a caveat is that last year was a nice bear market year. I mean, and you would almost have to do stupid things like I did to lose last year. This year's different. This year is more like a bear market the past several months for sure, and so it's more difficult. So again, just because I won like 95%, it's not because I was smart or because this is the holy grail, because it's not. It's simply one of the reasons, one of the basic reasons, because we had a nice upward move in the stock market this entire time. So basically, I sold $130,000 worth of premium. I captured 46% of that premium.
So in other words, y'all, if he sold something and received $1 in credit in premium, he kept $46.70, right?
Yep, right. And again, this is a spreadsheet that Bobby developed, Bobby created, and it's simply what I use to track my trade and to help me follow and really get a hold of things. It helped me see, do I want to keep doing credit spreads? Do I want to keep doing the micros or some version of micro trades? Do I want to do, and what were these? These were hedge spreads. So I think these were diagonals, Bobby, for the most part. And so those were the three things that I did last year. Again, the credit spread, realized gains. So basically, I made $52,462 trading that. The credit spread, which was almost all the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that was almost $46,000 of that, which was 88% of my profits were from this. You can forget that one because the equities and the basis goes together, and then the micros came out well, almost 9%. But it was a good trade for me. I'm still doing it now. When I went when I went to the resources tab, when I went to this, I mean, basically, there was a lot of this, such as in your class. I've sat on several of your classes, and some of your classes, I'm lost. I don't understand it all. So when I went to this, probably 80%, I really didn't understand. All I wanted was a trading strategy that I could use in order to make money, in order to help provide better in my retirement years. So I took what they taught, and I kind of boiled it down. So every strategy I do, I have a Word document on almost every strategy that I try to do, and it tells me this is the base, this is the trade plan, this is the strategy for the plan. So basically, for this plan, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would sell a vertical put spread every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next Wednesday, Friday, Monday, meaning that on Monday, I would sell a put spread that is going to expire on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I would sell a put spread that would expire on Friday. And on Friday, I would sell a put spread that expired on the next Monday. I would do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I sell now. This is the basic rule. The basic rule is you sell a put at 5 delta, or 2 to 8 delta, depending on what the VIX is doing. So this was something that I added that I got from something else. So if the VIX is between 10 and 20, that means you have very little volatility. And I would sell anywhere between the 5 and 8 delta, depending on the premium that I got. If the VIX is between 20 and 30, then I would sell a 4 to 5. If it's over 30, I would sell a 2 to 3 delta.
And Rick, let me interrupt you just for a second. So this is a put spread, guys, that he's doing. Now, we've not covered a put spread today, but Rick's going to show us how to put this trade on in a second. And all he's doing is where you guys have learned so far how to sell a naked, what we call a naked put. You just sell a put. He is defining his risk by buying a put farther away from the current price so as to limit his max loss. So if he's doing a 20 wide spread, the maximum loss is $2,000 less the credit that he receives. So if he receives $50 in credit, his max loss is $1,950. When we're talking about VIX, and I don't think we've covered VIX yet, which is a very important thing, especially when you're dealing with a product that is the S&P 500 that Rick is trading. VIX is a volatility measure of the S&P 500. So when VIX is low, he's selling the 5 to 8 delta. When VIX is medium, between 20 and 30, he's selling a 4 and 5 delta. Now, keep in mind, when that VIX is elevated, he's receiving a larger inflated premium, right? Remember the air in the balloon. When there's volatility, the balloon blows up. So he's able to sell a little farther away from the current price. His strike price is farther away in increased volatility. And then finally, if VIX is over 30%, which it is or was yesterday, and I'm assuming it is today, VIX is in the 30s today, then he's selling the 2 to 3 delta. So he's able to get even farther away from the money. All right, sorry about that, Rick, but I just want to make sure there's a couple of concepts we had not covered with the class yet. I just want to make sure that they're aware that we'll show them all that.
That's not a problem at all, because I'm not sure where y'all are. So I would sell the put at 5 delta, and then I would buy another put, different put, 20 points away. I get anywhere, and it depends. Sometimes I go with 25-cent premium, sometimes up to 50-cent premium. It just depends on what it gives you. And so sometimes, such as I would put something on Monday, and then on Tuesday, the market would have gone up to a degree that I've already had 80% profit, and I still have 1 day left. So my basic rule is, what I do is, hey, I'm going to close that for the 80% profit and sell another one. So on Tuesday, I would sell another one for Wednesday. And that would just bring in more premium. That would bring in higher profits. So it's either that, or I let it expire, worthless, and then sell for the next expiration time. So that's the basic rules that I follow on this. Now, if these guys did back tests on this, and basically, just let it run. And it was, I don't remember, it was like 80-85% winners. I don't remember offhand right now. So they would put it on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, no matter what. I mean, it really didn't matter. Now, here's the deal. If I had like $1 million to lose, I would do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 delta, not even think about it at all, period. Well, I don't have that money to lose, so to speak. So I'm more attuned, although these rules, this is the basic thing. For my own sanity, I always tweak it as I go. Now, I feel like I can tweak it smartly because I've done these so many times. I trade primarily the only thing I trade any derivative of the S&P 500. That's all I trade. I don't trade stocks. I don't trade any other ETFs. So I've traded the S&P 500 for over 10 years. So I'm pretty familiar with I'm familiar with its ups and downs and what can cause a problem. What can cause a problem is, as you've seen the past several days, oil volatility. That'll cause a problem. That'll cause things to go down. Fed meeting where they might raise interest rates, that causes it to go down. Even the fear of raising interest rates. And then sometimes when a Fed governor opens their mouth and does some sort of interview, oh my gosh, depends on what they say. What they say, the market can go up or down. So there's many things that move the market toward the downside that I'm keenly aware of. So I watch the calendar, such as, when's the next Fed meeting? When's the next? I pay attention to stuff like that. When the war started in the Ukraine. In the Ukraine, I'm very cognizant about that. Now, Bobby teaches us, and I agree with Bobby almost all the time, but Bobby teaches that news is noise. You look at the news all the time, and I agree with that for the most part. I mean, watching CNBC and watching talking heads on CNBC and what they say about this stock or that stock, that's just noise. I don't even listen. I don't watch it. Somebody comes up, hey, I got a good stock tip for you. Forget it. That's just noise. But since my trading, for the most part, is on a short-term basis, it is so. If I were trading, if I were doing an option, and my expiration date was like 6 months away, I probably wouldn't pay any attention to hardly any news at all, because within 6 months, chances are things are going to be fine. If it tanks today, chances 6 months, chances are it's going to be fine on a long term. But when you're talking about short term, when you're talking about, hey, I've got 2 days for this thing to play out, I'm cognizant of some news things that go on. So there are some days I don't put a trade on, such as right now. I don't put a trade on Friday for Monday because of what's going on in Europe and what's going on with the Fed, and they've stopped the easing and they're going to start raising interest rates. So I don't know what's happening on the weekend at all. So I don't, right now, I'm not putting one on for Friday, for Monday. Now, there are people they are risk averse. Risk doesn't matter. Now, risk is an important thing. You can't make money without risk, because risk increases the premium that you get, the money that you collect. But too much risk it goes against my blood pressure. So I'm more of a person that I like an almost sure thing. That's why a 5 delta, and 5 delta, basically what 5 delta means for a layman, this is not the technical definition, but for a layman, it means that there is I've got 5% chance that if delta is 4,000, the 4,000 price, if that's the 5 delta, that means that it's a 5% chance that it will hit 4,000. 95% chance it won't hit 4,000. So this is it's called a high probability, because that's what it is. I've got a 95% chance if I sell a 5 delta put, I've got a 95% chance that I'm going to come out all right. And so that's what I do. I like that kind. I don't do a 50-50. Now, Bobby is much more riskier than I. I mean, he'll sell a 30 delta, and I'm over here thinking, Bobby, what are you doing at 30 delta? I could never do that. I just couldn't. I'm not wired that way. Bobby's a risk taker, darn tootin', and he'll do things like that. I'm not that much. I want to be more safe. Let me back up. I want to not only be more safe, I want to feel safe. I have not mastered this. I have yet to be able to extract my feelings from my trading. I've not been able to do that. There was a lady years ago, very, very popular, very, very successful. Her nickname is Karen the Super Trader. And she says, when I put on a trade, it's all math to me. It's just mathematics. This equals that, you take away that, multiply that, and that's all the trade is. And so I can put it on, not worry about it till it's about to expire, then go check it. I am not Karen the Super Trader, and my body, my emotions are not wired that way. So I try to be more careful. I like that high probability trade. Now, with high probability, you make less money. That is true. That's one of the trade-offs, such as Bobby was saying, a 20 wide, and we'll show in a second, a 20 wide put spread. Basically, what you're risking a total of $2,000. So I'm risking $2,000 to make what? Well, if I do a 30-cent premium, basically I'm risking $2,000 to make $30. Now, I know probably most of you are thinking that is the stupidest thing in the world, to risk 2,000 to make a measly 30. Well, here's the deal, and I agree. It seems crazy until you remember I've got a 95% chance of making that $30. Now, if I were to do a 10 delta, 90% chance, it could be that I'm going to make $90. If I do a 50 delta, which is right in the middle, 50-50 chance, I have a 50-50 chance of making 2,000, but I got a 50-50 chance of losing 2,000. So for me personally, I'm comfortable with a 95% chance of making $30. Now, that may not be for any of you, but that's what makes me comfortable. That's where I am.
And Rick, isn't it amazing though, how often those probabilities are perfectly priced in? I mean, if you're selling something with a 95% probability of success, you're going to lose something 5% of the time.
Right. Absolutely. You will lose. Now, again, that's why there's a technique of rolling the trade out that Bobby taught me that has the fact that, oh my gosh, it looks like I'm going to lose and I have no choice. Well, you do have a choice. You can roll it out. There's several things you can do, but rolling is one of them. So that, oh yeah, it looks like I'm going to lose here, so I'm going to up my chances by rolling it out a little further out, and hopefully a little further down. So anyway, this is not a trading options is not the easy. It's not the easiest thing in the world. For me, it wasn't easy to grasp my head around all these things. But all I was looking for is a strategy. Now, I'm like I'll be 68 in a couple of days. Now, most of my life is behind me, unless I go to some cryogenic tube and whatever. Your lives are ahead of, are almost. You have so many decades left in your life, so you can take chances greater than I can, because hey, I'm kind of like toward the end as far as that's concerned. So I play it a little more safe because of where I am in my life. And each of you have to make that choice for you. What's right for you? What's right for you as far as your time horizon? What's right for you as far as your time commitment? Because trading like this, there is a time commitment. If you just buy and hold, there's no time commitment involved at all. Maybe 5 minutes every month or something. But so you have to realize what your time commitment is, and then what's your risk assessment? What are you able to risk? Where is your comfort level? And do you even care about comfort level? Are you somebody that can completely detach your fear and or greed from your trading? If so, I pray that God had knitted me together like he knitted you, but that's not the way I am. So there's several considerations to make as far as that's concerned.
So Rick, you did how many trades of the Rick trade last year?
I did about 200, 220, something like that.
220, and 5 of those were losers, right? That I think all but 2 would have been.
Yes, yes, that is correct. Now, except for that one blip that went down. I mean, that was like $7,000-8,000. I don't remember exactly. And that was a choice that I made because of something that was going on in my life at the time, and I had to get out, and I couldn't do anything. So I went ahead and took the loss. But so let's say that I had 5 losers. Well, 3 of those, let me back up. All of those I rolled out to the next expiration. But going back and looking at it, and I think all but 2 of those, I would have been fine if I just left it alone. But it broke I have a rule that I will roll if my short strike is breached. And we can talk about that when we go to Thinkorswim.
Well, and Rick, do you do that when it's breached, or do you do the roll at right before expiration? When do you do that roll? As soon as it's.
I do the roll whenever it's breached. If
Okay.
My strike is breached, and normally, since I'm so far away from the money anyway, unless there's a huge down day, I normally don't get breached. But my thinking is when it's breached, it could go down. It could bounce back up. It could go down further. I've got a 50-50 chance, and with my risk aversion, so to speak, I tend to go to the, well, it's going to get worse. There was one time, Bobby, this was about 3 months ago. I think my short strike was at 4,700, and it came. And again, I'm trading 5 accounts, so I have to do 5 different transactions, and so it came like 3 minutes before the closing. And it was right at my short strike, 40, I think it was 4,700. And I'm here thinking, I don't have time to roll all of these accounts. I'm going to have to just suck it up, Buttercup. And if it happens, it happens. And listen, it closed at 47,032. It was like, oh my gosh, that was an amazing day. And let me just say, so I didn't lose. That was a winner. But oh, my blood pressure was up that day. There's no doubt about that.
Rick, let's talk about 2022. And I asked you the other day, tell everybody now, so I want you to calculate the risk that you're currently taking, because I think this is interesting, right? So he's trading in 5 different accounts. So altogether now, your Monday, Wednesday, Friday trade, how many contracts are you putting on?
So one closed yesterday. It went well, and I traded 34 contracts yesterday over 5 different. So 34 in all, but it was spread over 5 different accounts.
All right, so let's kind of figure this out, y'all. So he did 34 contracts. What was the credit received, Rick?
So I received 30 cents credit.
34. So 30 cents is $1,020. So he's making $1,020 from the Monday to Wednesday. All right, now, Rick, tell us what the total risk is that you're taking.
It was $68,000.
He's taking $68,000 of risk, which basically is you take the 2,000 risk times the number of contracts, which is the $68,000, and it's really a little bit less, right? So the risk then is 68,000 minus 1,020 credit received, because he's going to keep that regardless. So it's a little bit under about $67,000, 66,980 maybe, if my math in my head is correct. So he's taking substantial risk, but he's taking it with a high probability of success. Now, Rick, the good thing is all of our students are aware of Karen the super trader. So as you'll recall, on the put side, what Karen was doing is selling a 5 delta put, and she was doing that in the SPX, the same instrument that Rick is trading. The difference is she was selling that naked. So in other words, she did not buy an option below the short option to define her risk. So she had virtually unlimited risk, basically, if it were to go down to zero, which is very unprobabilistic. So what Rick has done, he's basically doing the same thing on the put side. He's limiting his risk. So defining his risk. He knows his risk. He couldn't lose more than the $68,000. And I know a lot of you are going, oh, wow, you lose $68,000 in 2 days. That's a big meatball.
Oh, listen, that's a big meatball for Rick as well, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's a big meatball. So let's talk about 2022. It's been a rough year. How are you doing? How many trades have you put on, Rick? How many, you don't have to give us the specific, but tell us kind of how it's going this year. How many trades you put on? How many have been losers? How many have you had to roll? How many times have you set out compared to what you did last year?
So January was fine for me. I had no problem in January, just a normal time, because I had just retired. I didn't do as many trades because I was trying to, I don't know, well, y'all don't know because you're not retired. But when you retire, it's kind of like it's a whole new life. Now I get to go to the gym. Now I get to do this. I get to do that. I'm at home a lot. So I was trying to get my feet wet. So I haven't traded as much. I haven't traded as much in January and the first part of February than I did last year. Because last year I did just about every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Not all of them, but just about every one of them. So this year I put on. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in January. I probably did 6 in February, and I've probably done just 2 in March. And so far, I haven't had to roll any. Everything's coming up roses as far as that's concerned. But I'm moving down to a lower delta. So basically, what I do, I've got this other spreadsheet. This is let's see if I can make this. I don't know. Can y'all see there? Is it too small?
No, I see it.
Okay, and basically, this is a spreadsheet. And I don't know why it turns black like that. I'm not really sure. So this is a spreadsheet that I'm looking at tomorrow's expiration. I'm looking at 20 strike, so 4 strikes. So it's a 20-point strike, and this gives me the current delta of the short put. And this gives me how many points it is away from in the money currently right now. So, probably looking at tomorrow is not the best thing to do. But see, so right now, because of this volatile time, now I'll tell you exactly what Bobby would do. Bobby would go down here. So what's the 5 delta? Look, here's a 5.5 delta. I get 73 cents. I like $1. I might go up to the 7.8 delta. Now that's Bobby. That's not Rick. Rick doesn't do stuff like that, because I look at this, I'm saying, all right, so I'm 100, and if I do this one, if I do the 41.40, 41.20 put spread, I'm going to get $1 and really $110 and or $108, but I'm 110 points away. Now, what the way Rick thinks is, the other day the market went down 123 points. That's not in my comfort zone. So what I do is I go down here and I look at the delta. I look at the 2 to 3 delta, which is when the VIX, and the VIX is right here, 31.1 this moment. I look at I look at the delta. I look at what my premium would be, the credit would be. I look at how many points away it is. And if tomorrow was a Fed day, I would have to think, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to go down here. So basically, I use the spreadsheet, and this one, this is the neatest thing. This is one vertical spread on March 11th, which is tomorrow, 2022. And it's sell the 40.95 by the 40.75. You can right click this and you can paste it right into Thinkorswim. And you don't have to sit there and figure it up and create it in the broker's website. But this right now. This is what normally I don't use this at all. But during difficult times, during times that I don't feel comfortable selling a 5 delta or a 6 delta, I'm more of a 2 or 3 delta. I use this to help me say, all right, now here's a 30-cent profit, $30 profit. It's only at 2.7, so meaning I've got like 97% chance that I'm going to be fine. And I'm 157 points away. So I have until 4 o'clock tomorrow for it to reach 157 points down from where it is right now. So this helps me come up with a comfortable, I don't know. It just puts this puts a lot of the information that I'm interested in at my fingertips. Plus, I can copy paste and just copy this trade right into Thinkorswim and go for it.
That is super, super. Rick, you will hear this if you Google, selling options and doing something like this. What you will most likely hear referred to is selling or picking up pennies in front of the steamroller. Okay. So Rick, how do you respond to those people? Most of those people who don't know what they're talking about, who say that this is a picking up pennies in front of a steamroller strategy.
And they are on one hand, they're absolutely correct. I mean, the steamroller is, I can lose $2,000. The penny is my $30 or $35 credit. But here's the deal. Since I'm using a 5 delta or a 3 delta, meaning I've got a 97% chance. So look at it this way. The higher the delta, if the delta was 40, the faster the steamroller's going. A 2 delta, the steamroller is moving. It's moving toward that penny, but it's going very slow because I've got a 97% chance that I'm going to be able to get in front of the steamroller, get my penny, and go back. Now, if you're doing a 30 or 40 delta, that steamroller is going, I've only got a 60% chance that I'm going to get that penny without losing my hand. I'm not for that. I don't do that. That's too risky for me. So that's why you have to come up with what's your risk tolerance. But to some degree, yes, they are right that it is picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. But again, you have to look at it. How fast is the steamroller going? And am I fast enough to get that penny out? Can I sell a lower enough delta to get a decent premium in order for me to take that risk? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind, so what he's doing is if the market goes down to a point that it touches his short strike. Now, his maximum loss is where? The maximum loss is if the market price of SPX goes down past his long strike, right? That's where he's got his maximum pain, right? So it's blown everything away. It's gone past everything. It's a max 100% loss on that trade. What he's doing is when his short put is breached, he is rolling it, and rolling is nothing more than this. He's closing the trade. Rick is accepting the loss that he has at that point, but then he's opening another 20-point wide put credit spread farther out in time, so that he's doing that theoretically collecting additional premium in the roll. Right, Rick? Did I miss
Right.
anything on that at all?
No. So basically, you're not. Basically, the purpose of a roll is to cover your losses in the trade that you closed, and hopefully to make up a little more premium. So I mean, the ones that I rolled last year, basically, yeah, I rolled it. So I covered the loss of the one that I was supposedly going to lose, and I sold it to equal that loss plus a little more. So that for most of those rolls, I made additional profit. So I broke even on my loser. I lost here, but when I rolled it, I got the money back plus a little more because I sold it for a higher credit. So I didn't sell it for break even. I wanted a little out of it. So yeah, you can that works.
Now, did you ever have to roll out more than 2 to 3 days, like if
No,
rolling from Monday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Friday, Friday to Monday, or did you ever have to roll out a couple of expirations?
I always rolled it out to the next expiration, which would be the next Wednesday or the next Friday or the next Monday. I never rolled it out for farther than that.
Okay, Rick, would you mind going to a platform and showing the gang how to put on the trade?
Sure. Okay, so this is I'm sure Bobby showed you before. This is Thinkorswim. So I'm in SPX, and if I want to do a vertical, so let's say I want to do, I don't know, let's say I want to do this one. Let's say I want to sell a 490 and buy the 470. So
And also, Rick, put it in manually and then show them how you do
absolutely,
it with copying
absolutely.
the trade and putting it in. Good.
Yep, absolutely. So so these are my strike. This is the put side. I'm sure Bobby's told you all this stuff. Bobby, if I'm going, if this is
Yeah, they're
no,
very aware of this. This is good, Rick.
okay. All right. So so this is my delta column, and this is my probability of expiring in the money, probability of expiring in the money. So basically, if I wanted to do a 3 delta, or a 3% probability of expiring in the money. So basically, let's say I'm gonna sell the 40.95, and I can sell it for like 95 cents, or I can sell it for $1. And what I'm going to do is, and it depends on what you want to do. I mean, your spread could be a 5-point wide spread. So you sell the 95 and you buy the 90, or it could be a 10-point wide. You sell the 95 and you buy the 85. I normally do a 20-point wide because that's my comfort level. So I'm going to click on sell. So I'm selling the 20.95. I wanted the 90. Let me change that to 90. So I'm selling and see 75 cents, 75 cents. Now I'm going to go out 20 points, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to buy this one. So I'm selling the 40.90 for 75 cents, and I'm buying this one for like 50 cents. Or so this is my credit. So remember I said I usually do a 30-cent credit or a 35-cent credit. So this is the credit that I would receive, 30-cent credit. So basically, this is this is how it is. So this is my trade for tomorrow. I'm selling the 40.90. I'm buying the 40.70, which is a 20-point wide put spread, credit spread. I'm doing it for 30 cents. So what this tells me now is my max profit is going to be $30. If I sell at 30 cents, it's $30. If I sell 40 cents, it's $40. This is my max loss. My max loss. So if the market goes down and it closes tomorrow below my 40.90 where I sold, this is the and I don't do anything. This is the amount of money I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose the $2,000 of the 20-point spread minus the 30. So I can lose 1970. buying power, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so then if I wanted to do that in whatever account, basically, if I'm saying, yep, that's what I want. And notice the market's moving all the time. This is my order as I've ordered it up, but the market is still moving. And this price can change. So simply because they say that it's 30 points, well, now it's 25. Just because they say 25 doesn't mean they're going to take 25. That's just the difference between the two. That's the mid price, because everyone has a bid and ask, and there's a mid price, and so you have to kind of play with that. Every so often, you put it in for 30, and you might have to move it down to 25, or you can say it's 30. I'm going to 30, and it moves down to 25, but no, for this trade, I'm only willing to take 30. Well, you put it in and you let it go. You check it in 10 minutes. If it's gone, great. If it hasn't, then you do something else. You pull it down to 25 or whatever whatever the price is.
Awesome. Now show everybody how to copy that and to put the trade in, if they were using something like a spreadsheet, or if someone were to share a trade with you, you can copy these things, you can put them in.
Sure. So basically, this is put in a Thinkorswim format. Every trading platform has its own format, but this is the one for Thinkorswim. So basically, if this is the one that I wanted to do, I would simply copy. I would go back to Thinkorswim. Oops. Go back to Thinkorswim, and this little paste thing. So this is under the order entry tool. Here's a little copy paste, and I simply hit paste, and there's the order right there, just like it had. So it was copy paste. So I wouldn't have to go to the spreadsheet, say, okay, this is a 4180, and then go and find the 4100 and sell it. You just copy and paste. And there's a lot of different spreadsheets that has the Thinkorswim language, so to speak. And so if that's the one you want, you just confirm and send it away.
Awesome.
That makes it a lot easier for me whenever, because I hate having to go and build a thing, because I mean, for me, it's like I was telling Bobby the other day. I mean, I sold I don't remember what day it was. Maybe it was a Tuesday for Wednesday. I sold like 30 credit spreads, and that very night is when Russia decided to shoot at the nuclear reactor in the Ukraine. I'm thinking, oh man. So I hate that. I hate that move. So just my luck, so to speak. I'll put this on, and it was selling for 35, and by the time I hit it, well, the market's gone down 5 points or up 5 points, and it screws all this stuff up. So I like being able to do it this way, because it's not instantaneous, but it's a lot quicker than me actually building the trade.
And Rick, what time of day are you putting this trade on?
So Eastern time, I found that the first hour and a half, there's something about 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time. There's something, and this is me. Everybody has their own, and that's fine. But this is just Rick's thing. I never put it on before 9 o'clock, because after 11 o'clock your time, I never put it on before 11, because it seems like after 11, between 11 and 11:15, things kind of simmer down. Now, that doesn't mean things are going to be simmer down the whole day, but it means it's come to some sort of equilibrium where it's not moving fast. Now, if you have slow moving markets like most of last year, where a large day would be a 25-point range in the day, it really doesn't matter, because it's not moving that much. But when you have days like this, it was up 106 one day and down 97 the next. That's moving too fast for me. So I kind of like to get some sort of equilibrium. And for me, that's like after 11, between 11 and 11:15. Let me back up. In this time, if I do this on a one-day basis, if these are normal times, So if this was I'm gonna buy it on Monday, then basically I would buy it almost at the close of Monday for a Wednesday expiration.
Or you would
During
sell it.
these, yeah, I'm sorry, yes,
Sell
sir, sell it. I would open the trade. I would open the trade right before closing on Monday for Wednesday afternoon, and right before Wednesday for Friday, and right before the closing on Friday for Monday. During these days, I'm not doing it toward the end because if I waited till the end of Tuesday for the very next day, you get hardly any premium whatsoever. Most of the theta is already taken out of the trade, or a lot of the theta is taken out. So I try to get as much of Tuesday for Wednesday as I can. So that's why I do it in the mornings, right after 11.
And keep in mind, y'all, with these options, all of the extrinsic value, so which is an option that is out of the money, only has extrinsic value, right? So all of that extrinsic value will be taken out of the option. So the extrinsic value goes to zero at expiration. The only way that that option expands or has air blown into it is if it is in the money and then has intrinsic value. Correct, Rick?
Right, that is correct.
So this has been great. Questions for Rick. Rick's just a great guy, made 91% on his account almost. Rick, I'm a little disappointed you didn't double it last year, to be quite frank.
I tried, Bobby. I tried. I honestly did.
I know you did. So anyone got any questions for Rick at all? And the easiest way to do is to probably just mash your space bar and hold it down while you're speaking.
I was going to ask, why do you have 5 different trading accounts?
So I have one that's a margin. It's a cash account. It has margin in it. I have one with an IRA. I have one that a traditional IRA, one that is a Roth IRA, one that's an inherited IRA, and another one from my wife that's a Roth IRA. So I have 5 different accounts because you can't combine them into one. I mean, you just can't. There is no. You have to set up a different account for an IRA than a cash. That's just the rules. I'm sure that's some federal rules and whatever, but that's so that's why I have 5 accounts. Now, listen, if I could combine them all into one, oh my gosh, that would make life so much easier. I would love it, but there's no broker that does that, unless if I wanted to cash all my IRAs out and put everything in cash and put it all in a cash and margin account, I could do that. But I tell you what, to do that, I would pay an awful lot of taxes to close those IRAs, sell those IRAs.
Speaking of taxes, he's trading SPX, ladies and gentlemen, which has 1256 tax treatment. Lisa Benton, are you familiar with 1256 tax treatment?
Yes, it's the treatment for our future contracts in the 60-40 rule, right?
That's it. So elaborate on that a little bit, Lisa.
Oh, so in the IRS code 1265, it will allow,
1256.
I'm sorry, 1256, the IRS will allow you to take capital gains, 60% of it capital gains, long-term capital gains, and then 40% short-term capital gains. Is that correct?
That's correct. So with long-term capital gains, 60% is treated as though Rick held this position for a year, for over a year, and he's holding it for 2 days or 3 days, and he gets 60% 1256 treatment, 60% long-term capital gains, which could be, depending on your income, 0, or it could be 15%, or it could be 20%. Otherwise, the other 40%, the other 40% is treated at an ordinary income tax rate, which usually would be higher than the long-term capital gains. So don't tell anybody this. I always sit there and go, this is the stuff that the rich people know, right? This is the stuff that, why do we not all know this, that there are 1256 contracts that we can trade? SPX is one of those. Other questions for, good job, Lisa, good job. Other questions for Rick? What do y'all got?
I have another one.
Yeah, Kyle.
Do you do you keep track of how much you pay in fees and commissions?
I don't, and the reason I don't, I say I don't, I mean, Thinkorswim will tell you all the time, if you do 20 of these contracts. So basically, these are my fees and commissions here. So it's a small part. Basically, it's the cost of doing business. I mean, if you own a bakery, part of the cost of doing business is you got to pay insurance on your on the building. You have to pay electricity on your building. It's just a cost of doing business. So I look at the fees and commissions as simply the cost of doing business. Now, if I wanted to know to the penny all this stuff, absolutely, I would keep track of it. But the fees and commissions these days are are so small compared to what they were 2 years ago. To me, it's not worth it. But if I were an accountant and or a CPA or whatever, and I had to know it, yeah, I would keep track of it. But for my personal trading, I don't keep track of that.
And another thing, guys, the more that you trade, the more often that you trade, then you need to call your broker and say, look, I'm high volume, right? And so just about every 6 months or so, I'm always on the phone with Thinkorswim saying, listen, look at my activity. I'm trading a lot of contracts. Can I get a lower rate? So that's another thing that you guys need to know, that commissions are negotiable with most of the brokers out there. Lisa has a question, Rick. What is the most reasonable amount of trades per day?
The reasonable amount of trades per day. Well, if you're talking about a spread like this, so what do? I commit 40% of my capital. Now, some people think that's stupidly high, and that's fine. That's just where I am. I used to be more than that. I commit 40% of each account, the value of the account. I commit 40% of it to trading and options. So I have my own spreadsheet that I track individual trades on, and it tells me how many contracts that I can do for account 1, how many contracts I do for account 2, for account 3, account 4. So the number of trades, I only do trades once or twice a week. Either do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do it on Tuesday for Wednesday expiration and Thursday for Friday expiration. So I don't count the number of trades. I count the amount of my net lick, as long as it doesn't go over 40%. So that's how I determine how many trades I do, as long as it doesn't hit over 40%. Again, I used to do 50. Listen, I used to do 80%. And then I found stupidly, I found out that if I was in trouble and wanted to roll and wanted to buy a short put back, I didn't have the money to do it. It wasn't there. So that's when I went down to 50%. And then I thought, that's kind of stupid. So I went down to 40%. And some people think I'm stupid, you ought to do 20%. And that's fine. But this is just where I am.
Brad wants to know, how much time do you spend doing your trades on the days that you're doing this?
So basically, if I wait till after 11, which I don't, but if I wait until after 11, it's really, and I take a grasp of the nature of what's the market doing today. Go online and see if there's any news events coming, anything going. And then basically I just go to my spreadsheet, and I already know that, like in last year, the points away, oh my gosh, if I remember, if I got 100 points away, that was amazing. But in this high volatility now, again, you can get, I sold one the other day, and it was like 207 points away, which is what I wanted. So anyway, so if I have that general idea of kind of what's going on tonight, as far as, you never know what's going on tonight as far as the world is concerned and the news is concerned. So you can't do anything like that. But what's the Fed doing? There's a Fed meeting tomorrow, Fed minutes coming out. If there's nothing going on, then I could go here and I could say, I feel comfortable 150 points out. What, a 3.4 delta? Yep, that really meets it. I just copy this. I go to Thinkorswim and paste it in. Let me see. I didn't copy, did I? I copy here. Go to Thinkorswim, paste it in. I can hit send and confirm, and then I know. So if I want to do multiple accounts, then basically I've got like, all right, I'm going to do 2 in this one. I'm going to do 3 in that one. I'm going to do 10 in this one, whatever. And then I hit send and go. So how long does it take for you to do that? If you get a sense of your comfort level, then you just go in. You can do it in, as far as the mechanics, you can do it in 10-15 minutes to do it. Now, after I put it on, I go to my spreadsheet and I put these trades in so I can keep track of them and where are we currently. I mean, you can go to Thinkorswim and tell you where you are, but I like to do it in a spreadsheet. So what, 30 minutes max, you could do it. And then if you're like me, which a lot of people aren't, but if you're like me, you're on your phone like every 30 minutes checking to see, well, where's the market? Oh my gosh, the market. It's just like the other day, there was a news thing came out. There was a news thing came out. I use something called Financial Juice. It's an online website, Financial Juice, and the headline was that that Ukraine decided not to pursue NATO membership. Because what I did is I looked and all of it, I mean, the market was down 30, and then all of a sudden it was up 40. And I'm thinking something must have happened. So for the market to move like that, something happened, something moved the market. So I went in and it said, Ukraine decided not to pursue NATO membership. And so I said, hey, this is great. I forget. Here's proof I've retired. I forget what question I was answering. I don't remember what I was answering. I get on this tangent and I keep on going as far as time is concerned. Maybe that was
that was the question. That was the question. Beth's got a comment. She said, I'm impressed how clearly you learned and implemented your plan. I appreciate that you understand your risk tolerance, stick with it and win. Drops will fill a bucket.
There you go. Add drops will fill a bucket. Trust me. Oh, listen, there are people that, I'll sell a 15 delta. I'll sell a 30 delta. Oh my gosh. Well, that's true, but you're going to lose a lot more. You're going to have to roll. And I hate to roll. I will if I have to, but I hate to roll. I only do it if I have to. But yeah, it's the drops. Again, it's picking up pennies in front of that steamroller that is going so slow. So slow.
And one thing, guys, is you're sitting there going, can you do this on your phone? Yes. Can you do it on your mobile device? Absolutely. So what if you can't watch the market all day? If you've got something like this, he tells you he rolls when his short strike is breached, but you can set up alerts, right, to get a text or an alert on your phone if X happens. So, and we'll show you how to set those up later. But so you really can relax a little bit more, and if X occurs, then you get an alert. All right, Kyle's got a question. Did you use other trading platforms before using Thinkorswim, and do you have a favorite, or did you find one work better for you as you just started trading?
Sure. So I have used different trading platforms. Years ago I started with Scottrade, and that's simply because they had an office down the road. I didn't know beans about Scottrade. I mean, I'd seen commercials. I mean, they were bought out years ago. So I've used Scottrade, then I moved to E-Trade. And then I had a guy that was kind of coaching me in options, and he said, you really ought to go to Thinkorswim. And so I went to Thinkorswim, and that's when Tom Sosnoff, I mean, he created the thing. He and all the guys around him created it, and that's when he owned it. And so I quote grew up on Thinkorswim because it gives me is it perfect? No. You know, the things I would change, yes, but it gives me what I need to know in order to trade. Now, whenever Tom sold Thinkorswim and they created another platform called Dough, D-O-U-G-H, now it's called Tastyworks. Then I went to Tastyworks to try it out. It was too, I think for me, my brain was so stuck in how Thinkorswim works and how the charting works that I couldn't make the mental switch over from Toss to Tastyworks. So therefore, I just kept things at Tastyworks because, excuse me, I know it. I use it. That's really all I use. I do go to Tastyworks to sometimes create some. Tastyworks sometimes is the analysis tab is a lot easier. There's some drawbacks, but excuse me.
Christiana
but
says, oh, I'm sorry, Rick, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Christiana says, thanks for this because she really doesn't want to watch the market all day. So that's kind of cool, right? So Rick doesn't either. I mean, Rick doesn't want to sit there all day. So he's out, you know, doing his thing, going to the gym. He can set up alerts, you know, look at it a couple times a day. But I mean, think about it, 95% or more of the time, everything is just smooth sailing. You know, it's just, he knows, and he knows exactly what to do in times of turbulence. And this is a horrible strategy if you don't know how to adjust. If you're just sitting there going, oh my gosh, you know, the world's falling apart, what do I do? So I would encourage you guys to paper trade this, try it for a while before you actually committed it with other money. Also, we had a discussion prior to this class in the other class that I was leading that if you've got a smaller account, and you don't have $2,000 buying power to put one of these on, you know, your smaller account, then you might could try something like, if I get my symbol correct, because I don't trade it enough, XSP, which is 1/10 the size, still gets the 1256 contract status, and it's basically 1/10 the size, right? So that is another product that we found that you can do this in. And what was it, Rick? I was bringing in $35. I think I did a 3-wide spread. So your max loss on that was $270 something. You know, it's $300 less the credit received. So going on this one and show them in XSP. So XSP, if you were to sell the 5 delta, let's see what that would give us. 5% probability being in the money. There it is. That's not going to get much premium at all, is it? So you probably have to come in.
Well, now that's because I picked tomorrow.
Oh, you picked tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Got it. And I think the one that I picked was like a 4-day, right? And yeah. Let's go to the 4-day. So this would expire on Monday, and you would put this trade on tomorrow and go to the 5% probability being in the money or thereabouts. And do 3 wide. So he's selling the 405, he'll be buying the 402. That's a 9-cent credit. So what you would have to do, I would recommend moving this up, right? I would get a little closer to the money, maybe closer to a 10% probability of being in the money. I'd probably like to still collect, you know, probably 25, 30 cents at least on that thing. But yeah, there you go. Something like that, where you've got a 3, well, that's the credit is good, but the width is, there you go. So, you know, 20, 25 cent there, so that your max risk would be $280. Yeah. So we can talk about that. So there are ways to do this. Again, I don't want any of you doing this in your live accounts yet. I don't want everybody to paper trade. You got to be, you know, you got to know what you're doing. Got to develop the skills. You got to know the buttons to push when those buttons need to be pushed. All right.
Let me say this is odd because Christiana's name, that's my wife's name. And so it's spelled a little different, but my wife's name is Christiana. So
Oh, how awesome.
Anyway,
That's great. Any other questions for Rick at all? Okay, if not, Rick, thank you for joining us today.
you betcha. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it very much.
Now, Rick, is there a way, don't give us your cell phone number or anything, but is there a way that if folks wanted to contact you, reach out to you, how best to do it? Is it within my Discord room or an email? How would you say people could
Yeah,
get
I
in
mean,
contact with you?
if they have access to your Discord room, yeah, I'm Rick T on Discord. My Gmail address is ricktrim77@gmail.com.
RickTrim77@gmail.com. Awesome.
Yep.
Rick, you have a wonderful day. What are you doing for the rest of the day? What does a retired man do, Rick? The thing is, Rick was like, he told me, I was going to retire in September. Then he put it off to October, then November. Then he finally did it in December. And I retired in May before Rick did. And I said, Rick, you're not going to have any time, dude. I mean, you're going to,
That's
you're
right.
going to work yourself to death like I appear to be doing now. But what are you doing for the rest of your day?
I'm just relaxing. I'm gonna sit around, go downstairs, spend some time with my wife, and there you go. That's the day.
That's
Did the
awesome.
gym yesterday and doing fine today. But
Awesome.
listen, Bobby, thank you so much for letting me come and share. And all you guys, I pray that things go well and that you prosper and God blesses you and you get a hold of how you want to live your life and just go for it. Just go for it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. And let's all give him a
Yep.
big roll tide, y'all. Roll tide, Rick.
Thank you.